because clearly this issue is headed for mediation, that it is important that we also be considerate as the members of the National Assembly to also our county governments. Honorable Speaker, there is a rise in terms of the revenues of Kenya from last financial year to this current financial year, nominally to around 8 to 10% in terms of those revenues. Honorable Speaker, also in terms of the cumulative budget, we will now be considering a budget of around 4.8 trillion Kenya shillings, a figure we have never considered in this House before. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, my call is that we must support devolution and be seen to actually support it. Because we have actually maintained the same amount we gave to our county governments, the shareable revenue of 420 billion Kenya shillings. Honorable Speaker, we are proposing to sustain the same. And I don't think that is fair, Honorable Speaker, and especially given that the inflationary pressures alone, we will be talking at around maybe over 5%, Honorable Speaker. It is important, Honorable Speaker, that as we consider these kind of matters, let us not personalize. When we personalize that we are giving this money to specific governors, we are likely, Honorable Speaker, to be subjective.
Yes, there's a point of order.
First, we have not yet even voted whether we are sending this matter to a mediation or not. You have not put the question yet. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I want to inform the House that it is this House that in the last financial year that increased revenue shareable revenue of the counties from 385 billion to 415 billion shillings, Mr. Speaker. It's on record, Mr. Speaker. We are the owners of devolution. We know how devolution works, and we want to support devolution. So that is why, we want to send, because it is the Senate that has given this figure. It's not the National Assembly. They have said that they want to increase this revenue to 454 billion. It doesn't mean that we have to agree with them in totality. We can decrease or we can increase in accordance with what is possible. But Mr. Speaker, let us not also use this as a political, let us not politicize this process. Yes, the majority leader can inform you as a distinguished former chair of the budget committee, not the one we removed.
Honorable Speaker, I wanted to inform the Honorable Junet that indeed the former chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, stood in his place in this House when we were passing the shareable revenue last year and pretended that this is not the only amount that we are taking to the counties. And if I remember well, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro was speaking about a figure of 476 billion. It's in the Hansard. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, in the same spirit, using Honorable Ndindi Nyoro's words, I had just said when I was moving, there is some 8.94 billion that had been left out in the bill by both houses. And therefore, 420, the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro is simply being intellectually dishonest because he knows. And there is no more dangerous thing than when those who ought to know better seek to misinform the country for political gain, Honorable Speaker. Because the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro knows that 420 billion, as proposed, is not the only money that goes to counties. Two, Honorable Speaker, to remind Honorable Junet and to inform him that when we sat with him under the broad-based government arrangement, part of the 10-point agenda is to progressively move the shareable revenue to even beyond 450 billion. And we are on course, and we are working on that, Honorable Speaker. But we must also be reasonable as leaders, and that's why I said, Honorable Speaker, earlier, that this is such a time that calls for leadership, not political posturing. The easiest thing to do is to posture politically. That is why, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro will purport to be writing to you to recall the House when he knows he cannot recall even the Murang'a County Assembly, leave alone the National Assembly. And it is good in the clerk's advice to the Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, he informed him that even if you were to recall the House, Honorable Speaker, this House ideally would have sat today. Looking at the dates when he wrote the letter, if you are the leader of majority or the leader of minority, was it to recall the House would have sat today, the same day we are supposed to resume business. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I don't want to call my brother dishonest, but political posturing is a very dangerous thing at a time when the nation calls for leadership.
Ndindi? Oh. Then wind up your point of order.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, first I want to wind up by thanking the former chair of budget and the majority leader, Kachini, the majority leader, for informing me, Mr. Speaker, properly on issues that I think are important. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to say that Honorable Ndindi Nyoro is talking about governors. We are not discussing here governors, which governor is going to get what and what. That will come in the other, in Dora. The one that is Kara, the one that is coming from the Senate. Mr. Speaker, as the majority leader has affirmed here, we are on course as the broad-based government because we have increased the shareable revenue from 318 to 415.
Order, Irene Mayaka, what you have done is not right. Go on.
Speaker, the covenant agreement between us in the broad-based government, that is one of them is to strengthen devolution. And Mr. Speaker, that is why in the last financial year we increased it by a whooping 30 billion shillings, Mr. Speaker, in one financial year. And as the majority has said, 420, what is being proposed now, is not the only money that is going to counties. We are going to make the staff, the workers who have been working for the counties now, permanent and pensionable in the new budget, Mr. Speaker. It's going to cost the government 9 billion again. There are conditional grants that are going to go to the counties, Mr. Speaker. In total, counties will get close to 500 billion shillings. Mr. Speaker, let Ndindi Nyoro not posture politically, let him wait for the mediation to happen.
Okay, point made. Ndindi Nyoro.
Honorable Speaker, I actually never needed to be informed and actually have no time for those frivolities and filibustering. And Honorable Speaker, it is important because they have brought up, even as I go to the conclusion, about bringing some frivolities about who needed to call what and write which letter to the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we need to be honest to the Kenyan people, face them honestly. Honorable Speaker, we now have a situation in this country where the government joined opposition and the opposition joined government, Honorable Speaker. That even as we listen here, the majority side and the minority side leadership, Honorable Speaker, are a choir singing the same song, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, in such a house of debate, there must be alternative voices, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we are lying to ourselves, Honorable Speaker, and to the Kenyan people, that in this house there is a minority side and the majority side. There is none, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker,
yes.
As the House...
KJ.
Mr. Speaker, at the beginning of this session, you did do a communication to the House. And for the Honorable Member for Kiharu to call what the process is frivolity is in fact an insult to the House, an insult to yourself, an insult to the rules and procedures of this House, Mr. Speaker. There is no way the rules of this House can be frivolities, and I think it would be in order for my good friend, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, to at least respect the House, if not the people in the House, by withdrawing what he has said, because these cannot be frivolities, Mr. Speaker.
Ndindi, will you wind up?
Honorable Speaker, going back to the debate, I just call upon all of us, Honorable Speaker, to be honest to ourselves. We need our county governments to provision healthcare services. We need, Honorable Speaker, our county governments to provision all the devolved functions and give quality service to the same people we represent. Honorable Speaker, this cannot be done through politics. When we talk about some substantive issues about money, Honorable Speaker, this is not about politics. And even if it's about politics and the Kenyan people benefit, so be it. Honorable Speaker, my take is this. There is 420 billion Kenya shillings on the table. And I needed no information from anyone to tell me that you'll also be debating the debate about conditional grants. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the motion on the table. And the motion is about shareable revenue. That we are sitting here, we have seen a climb in terms of an increase of budget in entirety. We are reading now a budget of 4.8 trillion Kenya shillings. But we come to this house and we want our county governments to still get the same money they got last year in a situation where inflationary pressures alone have taken real money out of their pockets, Honorable Speaker. We must debate on, respectively, Honorable Speaker, that yes, as we propose the 420 billion Kenya shillings, that even the Senate is entitled to ask for the 34 billion Kenya shillings. We must meet somewhere, Honorable Speaker, because this is not about that specific governor. It is about the Kenyan people. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, this I